What's going on, guys? As you can see, we have more minnow baits to look at underwater today. If you do enjoy, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. I will be doing about one video like this a month, so if you don't want to miss that, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button. All right, so first off, we've got the Missile Baits Freedom Flyer. This is an interesting new bait. It's got these little wings on the back by the tail, and it's really got it thins down at the back, so it really has a lot of tail action, as you can see there. Then we've got the Strike King Spotlight Split Minnow. This one, as you can see, has got a really crazy long tail that's very thin, giving it a lot of action. What's interesting about that is it does say it's got sonic coat, which is, I guess, supposed to help you see it on your live sonar. Next, we've got the Hideup Judy fish. This one is probably one of the most unique minnow baits I've ever seen. If you can see there, it's got, if you can see on the tail, it's got these really fine appendages and multiple of them. And it looks like on the bottom there, these are connected, but it looks like you could snip them to have even more action. There's also the Yamamoto Baits Hinge minnow. As you can see, it's got a hinge. This is the smaller version of it. It also has this little lip on the top, I just noticed, which really, I wonder how that'll have an effect on how much it wobbles. And lastly, we have the Jenko Fishing The Don minnow. This one, it's a little bit on the larger side compared to the other ones. It has this little ridge there that might help it roll, and then a really fine tail with lots of action. So without further ado, we're gonna go through these baits on some jig heads and put them underwater and get an idea of what action they really do have. Alright, so we're back from throwing these baits underwater. I was actually very impressed with most of these baits. For starters, we'll look at the Freedom Flyer. I mean, that bait rolled like crazy. It was probably the most impressive roll I've seen, and it's probably due to that lip right by the tail. But I mean, if you really want one that rolls, this will roll. It's pretty durable. I don't think it's quite elastic because it doesn't float, but it is pretty insane. The Strike King Spotlight Split Minnow doesn't roll, or at least I didn't get it to roll that much. The main thing that it had going for it was just how crazy thin that tail is and how much action you get just from just the tiniest amount of wiggle. If you were working this really fast and straight retrieving it more than really trying to get it to roll in their face, this would be the bait I'd go with. Then the Hinge Minnow, like I said, with that big wing at the top, it rolled really well. For such a little bait, it rolls really, really nicely. I think part of it's also with how deep the body is. That's what lets it get that good roll. And then that hinge just adds a little bit extra flair to the tail. The Don Minnow has a very similar build to a lot of other popular minnow baits out there. It's basically a Yamamoto Sakamata shad idea, really long tail with a little bit of wings, although these are inverted wings, but it rolls like crazy. And the way a lot of these baits seem to get it to roll is partly, I think, because of the wings, which helps it roll a little bit. But I think the main thing is the way it's balanced and how much salt is on the bottom versus the top. There's a lot of engineering that goes into these little minnow baits that you just never see. And that's how they get them to roll like incredibly well. And lastly, going on that same engineering to get it to roll incredibly well is the Hideup Judy fish. This bait I didn't think was going to roll because it really didn't look like it was designed to roll because of how many different appendages it's got off the back. But the thing did roll. And with all those crazy appendages, I mean, even when they're not open, like I can just imagine a fish staring at that and just getting stimulated by all those little tiny appendages. And even when I opened it, it really didn't have too big of a difference, but it definitely if they're not used to it, you have just so many different options because you could decide to open only one or two or change how everything's opened up. You could cut these off and you get different actions. Honestly, I would say this was one of the best lineups of minnows I've had in one of these videos. All of them really rolled really well, and even the Strike King one that I couldn't get to roll, it still had a lot of action. If you guys have any suggestions of what other baits I should use underwater and do a underwater review, any minnow baits, anything in particular, leave it down below in the comment section. I'll make sure to read that, and I might go pick one up for the next video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.